Hi, Dex Gelfand here, practitioner and developer of Therapeutic Spiritual Counseling, as I call it. A way of working with you in sessions to resolve the attitudes and feelings that obstruct your true, happy, confident, powerful, serene presence. And what I want to speak about right now, just briefly, is for those that I've trained, that I've been training in therapeutic spiritual counseling, and those that would train in therapeutic spiritual counseling, or just this type of work, similar work, holistic therapy, alternative therapy, light worker, healer, whatever designation you might attach to it. And it's just this. We have in this practice some truly amazing, you could call miraculous techniques that deliver the full promise of resolving anything and everything and recovering yourself more and more. But what I want to say about this, and again, especially to those I've trained or have been training, is that the more you do this work, the more you sit in co-presence, session after session, with client after client, being totally invested in your passion to heal. The more you do this while using these techniques, the more fluid it becomes, the more empathic it becomes, the more intuitive it becomes, the less you will feel a need to rely on the specific mechanics of the steps of each procedure. The less you'll be applying this rotely or robotically, the more you'll sense exactly what the person is feeling. You'll see it and feel it and know when they've shifted from, say, a specific feeling to a specific attitude or identity, or sense in them a moment of shock emerging and presenting itself. And you instinctively have the feeling for when something's been fully processed in them, and when something else emerges, and just how and when the shift gears. And you'll have a much sharper feel for when the purpose of any technique has actually been completely accomplished, although you may not have completed all of the steps involved. And that's very important, to be that present with your client. And it also makes the work so much easier. I've been supremely confident in every session I've given for over a decade. That supreme confidence is a wonderful feeling. That sense of connection with the person, that not only knowing that I can help them to fix whatever comes up in the session successfully, but that sense of feeling what the person feels. More and more I find myself helping the person understand what they're feeling, reflecting back to them, and having the client say, "How did you know that? Well, that says it. That's what it is. Like, how did you get that from?" It's because you can feel it. You can feel it in them. The more you do this work, the more you engage with the person and their thoughts and their feelings, the more connected you are, the more in flow you are with them, and the more you will know instinctively what to say, what to ask, how to direct them, and just when to just simply be with them. And don't speak too soon, even if they might be expecting you to speak, because you can just feel things shifting in them. You let that complete. That sense of connection, as I say, working more intuitively, more empathically, more in flow with the client. Again, this develops more and more over time as you spend more time in sessions with client after client, much less of a dependence for making sure you're following the script exactly, and more a sense of feeling and knowing. And it's very rewarding. So those of you who have been in training with me, just understand the training is a framework, you know, a sort of a matrix from which to enter into this work. And the more you become empathic, intuitive, and you could say telepathic with the client, in presence with them, the less of a need you will feel to make sure you're relying on the dialogue, on the script, on the wording of the script, on the steps of the script. They will always have relevance and importance, but you will instinctively, intuitively feel when to go from procedure A to procedure B. You will sense identities. You will feel sensations and emotions in the person. You'll be right with them, and it's a much more fluid, happy, successful, expansive, rewarding way of working. And it will develop, and it does develop all by itself, the more you are in co-presence with the person in front of you in sessions. Certainly not at the end point of that, or if there is such a thing as an end point of that, but it seems like within every session, there's more recognizing and feeling what's happening within the person in front of me, the person I'm working with. The smoother it goes, and just about every session is amazing for the client, and the changes they have, and what the insights that they develop about themselves. So I wanted to pass that on to you, that you can study my book, my techniques forever, and you can gain a lot of knowledge and have wonderful tools. But at most, that's half the battle. Battle's not really the right word. It's a pleasure. But that's half the journey of becoming what I would call a master healer or practitioner. Not even half. I think the bigger part is when you get more operating from a sense of feel and developing, as I call it, supreme confidence in the session, in the work, in yourself, and in the client. So by all means, I encourage you to do this more and more and more. And you more and more find your own voice, your own trust in your own self, and less of a reliance on the idea that you're working from my script or my words, and more a reliance on knowing for yourself. And you will feel free to work a little differently, to change something in the script, or use a different question, or whatever. It will come to you, and it will be right. And that's what I'm counting on, for you to find your own voice in this work. Recognize your own capability, your own knowing, and operate from your own passion. And you will be most successful in finding your own voice and having complete trust and confidence in your own instincts and your own intuition. It happens more and more over time as you see just what you're capable of in your passion for healing others. I'm always here to help, to guide, to answer questions, to encourage and empower you